So let's take a look at this video where California was considering slavery reparation.
Injustice that's happening to my people.
At a public meeting of the Reparations Commission, people spoke out, sometimes passionately.
Our ancestors helped build this country.
African Americans, black people, whatever you want to label us this time. We're on the island of destitute, despair, amongst the sea of abundance.
True liberation starts with money.
The AB 3121 Task Force meeting is now called to order.
The task force was set up by the state legislature in 2020 to develop proposals for compensating California residents who are descendants of enslaved people.
This task force is designed to examine the harms associated with the enslavement of Black people, African Americans in this country, as well as the legacy of the harms of enslavement.
What do we want? Reparations!
Advocates say reparations would not only be for slavery, but the century and a half of racism that followed.
And we think about over time, whether you want to start with the Jim Crow laws, whether we want to think about moving forward with the redlining with real estate, the horrors of discrimination, segregation, all of those things followed slavery and have continued, I think, to plague us through today.
Economists consulted by the panel estimate that the cost of compensating California's black residents could top $800 billion. That's 2.5 times the state's budget for this year. The task force chair says reparations may not be limited to money.
The recommendations for reparations must include compensation, restitution, which accounts for stolen land or stolen wealth, stolen opportunities, rehabilitation,
Things you can't quantify.
Free health care. It's examples. I'm not saying those are going to be the final recommendations.
Cash reparations are not unprecedented. The federal government has paid some Native American tribes compensation for land improperly seized from them.
Yep.
And in 1988 paid $1.2 billion to Japanese Americans interned during the Second World War.
The task force would like to hear from everyone.
The task force must complete its report by July 1st.
Here's the deal. So this is an older video, almost a year old. So the governor, Gavin Newsom, told these folks, go ahead and set up a task force, blah, 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 study it. I don't know if you noticed, but when black folks ask for reparations, there's always a study, there's always a commission. Other groups just get it when they ask for it. There's never a study, there's never a task force, there's never a commission. It's just a fact. So at the conclusion of this particular task force, the task force came back and said, here is the number that we need and to make this happen. And then the governor said, reparations is really not all about money. It's about this, it's about that, it's about that, and we're just not gonna do it because we don't have it in the budget. But migrants come in, and then all of a sudden they have billions of dollars to house, care for, put them up in housing and health care and all these type of things. But reparations, no, we don't have money for that. And one of the biggest reasons is, there's a few reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is, for the most part, black folks aren't united. We're not united. Any other group, you can say or do anything to any other group, they're united. They're gonna get on you. They gonna do what they know best. They gonna stop doing business with you. Black folks don't do that. We're not united. We're not united. It's still we the people. Even though our government is doing some unspeakable things right now. They're not listening to the people. They're just in there doing whatever the heck they want to do. But at the end of the day, it is still we the people. So we always have to remember that.
The commission's ultimate recommendations will be purely advisory. The state's legislature
Purely
and
advisory.
government will ultimately
That's
decide
important.
what, if any, reparations are given. A process that is sure to prompt more debate about history, equity, and cost. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
So yeah, that's gonna be the end of that video, but
Let's talk about slavery. No.
no, we're not gonna talk about slavery.